Hey there, what up, peeps? What does it mean to keep it real? I don't even know how to address this video. I was gonna stop and restart it, and I was like, but that's not keeping it real, right? This came to mind because I've had several comments over the past couple days saying you keep it real on a couple different videos. And whenever there's kind of a cluster of certain comments or ideas that people have, sometimes it gets me thinking about why people feel a certain way. And this isn't about me at all. This is about what does it mean to keep it real, and what does it mean when a person says that. And I thought, well, it generally means, in my mind, as far as I can, tell, it's a way of telling people that they are being authentic, sharing their true feelings. And then I thought, well, does keeping it real mean that what you're saying has to be true? I thought, well, I would imagine keeping it real depends on what a person believes. If somebody says something that they don't agree with or believe in, even if it is true, they're not likely to say something like that. And I think that term is reserved mostly for people who don't talk about very specific things, but rather just have a general air of authenticity, as in, this is how I feel, and whether or not I'm right or wrong about it doesn't matter, but what are your thoughts on it, kind of thing. Basically, not claiming that we know fucking everything, because we don't. And oh boy, people growing up with just the internet their entire lives would be led to believe that there are people out there who know everything, but more likely we're going to believe that nobody knows a damn thing. Look, let me back up for a minute. I'm Gen X. I'm 48. I was born in 1975. I grew up as an 80s kid and 90s teenager, and kind of surfed through the last years of no technology, if you will. Yeah, if you were lucky and you had money, you could get a Walkman, or maybe an 8-track to record with your band, if you were lucky. But most of us just recorded our music on cassette, our band on cassette tapes, and then we'd layer guitar over drums and over bass, and it was cool to us. It was straight up, it was authentic, it was real. That's neither here nor there, but the generation we grow up in really does lend a lot to what it means to be authentic and to keep it real, if you will. And I'm not saying that the upcoming generation, I want to make this very clear, a lot of younger people out there get a lot of flack. I have a 29-year-old son, so I'm well aware of, the millennial issues and drama, or maybe it's Gen Y. I don't know which one he is. The generational thing is just stupid, because you've got some really intelligent and very wise and aware, kids in their 20s. And then you've got some complete imbeciles in their 50s and 60s. It doesn't matter how old you are. Wisdom is not just something you gain with getting older. There's a vast misconception that a guy, an old man with a staff and a beard and a wizard hat knows what the hell he's talking about, right? This guy might have never exposed himself to anything controversial or different than what he believes his entire life. He may know nothing. However, no matter how little you know about the world, let's say, all people who are old are going to have some wisdom. You don't get old by being a dumbass. You have to have some life wisdom. So everyone has something to share. So what I'm getting at is there's people who might have general wisdom about daily living in the modern world, technology, whatever it might be. Maybe their expertise is fixing cars. Maybe their expertise is gardening. I try to be kind of a jack of all trades. I like to know a little bit of everything. But, maybe that's my ambivalence about not knowing exactly what's important and what matters, in this world. What's the most important thing for me? I don't know. Family, I guess. Sometimes we overlook the most obvious. But for me, I'm a family man. I have 3 boys and a wife, and, and a dog, of course. And, I make my best effort in life to be as authentic as possible. And so the reason I made this video and asking, like, what is keeping it real, is merely alluding to the, I'm not going to say fact, alluding to my suspicion that there is a lot of fake ass bullshit out there. And I'm not saying that as a maybe. I'm well aware of it. It's just that I'm not exposed to probably 90% of the bullshit out there, because I don't interest myself in what's going on with Hollywood, or, you know, the controversies in the music industry, the controversies in politics. I do believe that a responsible citizen should be aware of the policies that are going on in their country, and should, you know, voting and choosing laws and being aware is completely separate from clicking on an article or a headline just because it says, you know, this politician got in trouble or said something bad. It's like, it just is so distracting and such a waste of time to follow what's going on in politics with individual people. So anyway, a year ago, it was the beginning of 2023 actually, that I made a choice that I wasn't going to watch anything political all year. If I saw a headline that had anything to do with specific people, I wouldn't click on it. And now it's been a year and a half, and I've actually continued that into 2024, and it's beautiful. And it's just kind of a rule of thumb that sits in the back of my mind. If you see something that looks, you know, sensationalist, don't click on it. Clickbait. You can't get me with clickbait, is what it is. Because I specifically seek out clickbait and ignore it. Now, there are some exceptions, and it's painful when I send like a friend a link to a video that is really good, like a really good podcast with some really good information that has like all capitals, exposed, or, you know, this person was destroyed. Like, there are certain keywords that you want to avoid to not get wrapped up in that. But anyway, I'm getting off track. The point here is, if there is such a thing as off track, but that's what authenticity is to me, is just talking about what's important to me, but without getting wrapped up in the he said, she said bullshit. And I guess maybe the generational thing matters, because I grew up in a time where I was a skater. I went out with my friends and we skated all the time, you know. Every day we had off, it was like, you know, meet up at 8 or 9 in the morning and skate until dark. And even after dark, we'd go skate the parking lot at, you know, underground parking lots, or down by Taco Bell or Safeway. It was just the thing we did. And we'd have these conversations and maybe smoke a little. This was back in the early 90s, so it was still very illegal, but there was plenty available, and it was pretty good. So, you know, we were introduced to some interesting people, interesting times, interesting substances. And then around the time when psychedelics came into my life, gradually it changed me for the better. I was able to see myself, who I was, and I was never a bad person, and therefore I didn't have a lot of, like, you know, amends to make with people. It was more like, what do I want to be for a human, as a human in my life, that I have so many years ahead of me. And since those days, you know, decades later, every day is a blessing to me. And I'm always thinking about the most important things to me and most important things in my life. And it's family, friends, connections. Even if I don't nurture those as good as I should sometimes, I'm just human. And I'm just trying to live this life to the best I can. So what does it mean to keep it real? It means to admit the things that you've done wrong. It means to admit the things you've done well. It means to be able to take credit for the things that you know and that you do want to share, and be able to, like, put yourself in your place for the things that you need to get done that you haven't done. Just be honest. And honestly, it comes down to honesty. And I truly believe that keeping it real comes down firmly to being honest with other people and ourselves. And we can sense that honesty in people. So the very fact people are commenting that it's a breath of fresh air to find somebody that keeps it real, it doesn't make me feel good about my videos. It makes me feel bad about the state of affairs, the situation we have where most content is fucking shit. Don't know how else to say it. It's just trying to get your attention. So within the first 30 seconds, they can sell you Keeps for Men or some shady ass BetterHelp that sells your health data, which, yeah, I don't want to go into sponsorships and ads, but man, I have a Patreon. I have a few people who donate to my channel directly, and then I have live streams where people donate. But other than that, I won't use advertisements. I won't use bullshit ads. I think that a lot of people who come across my channel probably don't even realize it at the beginning. They'll find a video, and only a few of my very, watched videos have ads. Some of them I can't even put ads on, but it's just because if I'm going to get, tens or hundreds of thousands of views on a video, I might as well make $1 off of it at least, because the other 4,500 videos I've made, and yeah, if you look on my channel, I've got over 4,500 videos. They're all just me talking like this, and I don't make money off of them because I'm not here to make money. You should share what you have, just like art or anything else, and not expect or demand to get paid for it. It doesn't work that way. If you put forth something that is of value that people really need, they will pay for it. But if it's something they don't need, then you better do it for the love of it. I'm a musician. That's how I feel about music, and why I didn't want to join a band and go on tour. And there was a time when I thought about it. My brother and I were in a band, and I thought if I joined a band with him, we could, do a lot of gigs and shows. I just didn't want to, because it's not my thing. Because I don't want to, put that much time into it, but also because I don't want to ruin music as a passion of mine. I'll still love to play music. I'll still love to listen to music, of course, even if I'm in a band, but there's just something about it. Keeping the mystery, if you will. Anyway, the earth, the salt of the earth. Keep it as real as you can. Be a good example for others, whether you're older like me, or way older, or way younger. Be as you as you can be, and as authentic as you can be, because it inspires those around you. And we need a lot more of that. A lot more of that. So, thank you all for coming along. I'm going to share with you on the parting journey here. A little view of what I'm looking at. Get yourself back to the simple life. Enjoy the simple things. It'll make you feel closer to Earth, to others, to yourself. I won't get into the hippie shit, but next time I will. Peace out.